KZN Future 50, powered by F&B Business and East Coast Radio, is up next. Stay tuned as we spotlight an unstoppable business shaping our future's province.
They say it's just business, but it's so much more for us as Mzansi businesses. It's about showing up every day on every street corner, B&B, barbershop, farm, franchise, and manufacturer. Because giving up is just not an option. It's about the comfort we, as over 1 million unstoppable businesses, feel from having F&B Business behind us. They help us stay unstoppable. Help changes everything. Global Finance 2024 Best SME Bank in South Africa. F&B, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider.
The KZN Future 50 with Pavlo Fatidis. Inspiring KZN's business future.
Let's get into the second half of Where Are They Now? And this one's all about smart food solutions. So tell me, Pavlo, who are we featuring next?
We're talking about Food Sock, which is operated by Mike Nel. And what they do, if you recall, they offer long shelf life food packs that create food for the indigent, people who are the poorest of the poor, where for around 10 Rand, you can feed a family of 4. And in outlying rural areas, this is particularly significant.
I remember that one actually, and it's very purpose-driven, and it's such an important purpose. What's happened since?
Well, they've signed a couple of new contracts. 2, in fact, they've pushed up their sales by 10% in an economy that's not even growing at 1%. To increase your sales by 10% is significant. They've expanded into the church networks as part of a strategic market move, which is what we recommended. And through that, they are reaching a far wider group of customers. On top of that, they've refreshed their packaging. They've relaunched pop-up shop sales models right around the country. And this means that their affordability, their nutrition for poor families has become more spread, more accessible. It means that the poorest of the poor are now able to access healthy, nutritious food for their families.
That's fascinating. I love that. And it really does feel like a full 360 evolution.
It is. And you know what? Food Sock, it's an example of a brand that was born out of a very, very dire need, a need that had been unmet. And a brand that listens, adapts, and acts fast is really what the performance of this business is about. It's how you grow. It's not about just having a good product, but it's about taking the product to where the market is, meeting the market at the point of need. And that's what they've done so effectively.
And Pavlo, the KZN connection?
Well, they create affordable, nutritious food, and they do so building local supply networks to reach underserved communities. So not only are the beneficiaries of the food, in other words, the people who ultimately eat the food, able to access food more affordably, but also the supply networks have an opportunity to create economy for themselves. It's a very powerful mix of entrepreneurship and social impact, and it's a great example of what we need going forward right across the country.
Well, that's absolutely fascinating. We've got two very different businesses, Live Copper and Food Sock, and they both show that growth isn't always loud and in your face, but it is always meaningful. So thank you so much for the update, Pavlo.
It's a pleasure, Carmen, as always. And here's the best part. There are more stories like this coming. Local, impactful, and absolutely 100% worth celebrating.